Hey Seahawks, and welcome back to Seahawks Central News.
We've got a great show for you today with a sit-down interview with Jeff Rivenbark, local UNCW professor and news anchor, how Wilmington is implementing pay raises to first responders, a new film on campus, and much more. I'm Garrett Wishon.
And I'm Kinsey Rothenberger. Sit down and stay tuned because Seahawks Central News starts right now. New Hanover County has raised the salaries of first responders by thousands. On April 19th, all of New Hanover County Sheriff's Office, Detention Center, 911 Center, and New Hanover County Fire Rescue's 670 first responders will receive raises ranging from $6,500 to $12,000 more a year. Fire battalion chiefs will receive an almost 18% increase, as well as firefighter apparatus operators and fire captains are to be given an almost 24% increase and firefighters an almost 30% increase, as well as 911 center employees, sheriff's deputies, and detention center workers. The goal of these raises were to reward first responders for their hard work and talent. County staff and commissioners also say that the almost 30% salary increase for some employees will not cost taxpayers any additional money. Officials say that the increases will help New Hanover County pay what the market demands for such vital positions, account for inflations, and compete with other regions for the best people for the job. County Manager Chris Cordiet says they've earned every one of these dollars. This is what it takes to remain competitive and fair to our first responders. Those first responder raises went into effect last Tuesday, April 19th.
Just recently, it was announced that UNCW Marine Science Professor Dr. Steve Ross will be the chief scientist of the 2022 Titanic survey expedition. The mission will involve 6 8-day cruises starting from June 15th until August 2nd, operating out of St. John's, Newfoundland. On these missions, they will be conducting biodiversity studies involving cataloging the fauna using video and water samples from environmental DNA, collecting observations of the habitats, mapping the area, and collecting oceanographic data. With 2 international agencies involved, which include the Canadian Department of Fisheries and the University of Edinburgh, Scotland. The ships will have at least 2 to 3 international scientists aboard. With their research, they plan on publishing the data in scientific literature. Dr. Ross was invited to do this based on his experience as the research coordinator for the NC National Estuarine Research Reserve Program and as an adjunct professor at UNCW for about 13 years. He then became a research professor at UNCW Center of Marine Science for about 12 years. He is currently partly retired and still holds an adjunct appointment at UNCW. Now we have Boyce Rucker here to tell us about UNCW graduate and Professor Jeff Rivenbark and how his new position at WWAY is coming along. Boyce?
Thank you, Maddie. Yes, one of UNCW's own made a big move in the broadcast news circuit. WWAY news anchor Jeff Rivenbark moved from morning news to evening news. Rivenbark is a 1993 UNCW alum and current multimedia journalism instructor at UNCW. Rivenbark makes the jump to the evening after anchoring on Good Morning Carolina for more than 4 years. He heads into the newsroom later in the day now instead of early in the morning as he did previously. He sees small changes from this.
My sleep has definitely changed. Now I'm getting out of here at 12:45 at night, or 11:45 at night, and then getting home around midnight, and then going to bed usually around 1 a.m. And in the past, I would be getting up at 1:45 a.m. So that's been a little bit of a change, and sleeping in the mornings has been tremendously awesome.
His colleagues commend him for his leadership, good nature, and strong passion for news reporting. He displays the same qualities in the classroom. Students can spot him on WWAY in the evening or around UNCW campus as he shows excitement to cover the news and share the skills to do so with students.
You're always trying to think, how can I freshen up the lead to the story so that it feels fresh and relevant if someone is just hearing it for the first time, but to also make sure that it's accurate to, what happened that day. And try not to make it be passive or, old, but at the same time acknowledging the fact that this story happened earlier today.
While he's a reporter, his schedule still allows him to teach the course with ease.
I'm just teaching on Tuesdays and Thursdays and immediately leaving the campus and coming over here to anchor the 6 o'clock news and get ready for the 7 and the 10 and the 11. So it's a little bit of a tight turnaround there, getting through traffic downtown to get over here to Leland, but it's working out, and I'll be teaching my class in the mornings in the fall. So it won't be quite as, difficult to try to manage both things then.
WWAY is currently looking for an intern for the summer with a passion and drive for multimedia journalism. If you or someone you know is interested, please apply on wway.com/internship programs. Now here's Garrett to tell us about a UNCW student who wrote and produced a new film that will be shown at UNCW.
Thank you, Boyce. Yes, I sat down and talked to Betsy Bertram, who is currently a sophomore at UNCW, to hear about the process of writing and producing her own film in honor of her father. Bertram, who is a remote student living in Beaufort, North Carolina currently, will be making her first trip to Wilmington this week.
He was working on the film. It was his dream, and he was working on it the entire last year of his life. And then when he died in July of 2017, I was doing a lot of writing, which is my main art form. And the filmmaker, who happened to also be a family friend, that November reached out to me and said, your dad told me that he had this dream, and I would love to help you finish it if it's something you want to do. And I definitely don't feel comfortable doing it without having a family member involved. So at that point, I started working on it with him, and we worked on it for 4 years to get to where we are now, which is having the finished product. That process was really nonlinear and took a lot longer than we could have ever anticipated. It took far more energy, both physically and emotionally, than I could have ever anticipated.
The film is titled Captain Scott B. and the Great Adventure.
It really resonates with a wide audience, and grief is this universal part of the human experience. It's my hope that this film serves as a vehicle for opening up about grief and loss and having conversations that give the space to live into our losses. So I'm hopeful that people will feel inspired.
When asked if she would write and produce another film, she said not necessarily, but does hope to continue writing more in the future.
If I had known how hard it was to make a film, I would have never said yes to this. This was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I really don't know anything about film. I obviously know a little bit more now that I've done it, but I still don't really know anything. And I don't envision myself doing another film, but you never know what will happen. But I am a writer. I've always been a writer, and I love to write. And I hope that this book is a diving board for going deeper into the writing world. I dream of publishing a book one day that inspired the film, and so I'm hopeful that will unfold.
The film will be in Lumina Theater and is a free screening open to students and the public community members on Wednesday, April 27th. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and the film begins at 7. Following the hour-and-a-half film, there will be an opportunity for question and answer from Bertram. Go check out if you are able. Also, read more about her story and visit uncw.edu/Betsy Bertram. Well, that's it for us this week. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe to UNCW TealTV on your favorite social media platform. For Seahawks Central News, I'm Garrett Wishon.
And I'm Kinsey Rothenberger. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next semester. Good luck with finals and have a great summer, Seahawks.
Also, myself, Maddie, and Boyce are graduating in a few short weeks. We want to thank everyone for watching Seahawks Central News. We really appreciate every like, follow, and all who have kept up with the show thus far. It means so much to us. Thank you for watching Seahawks Central News.